Hi, I'm Heather from Destination Fanatics. I'm also a teacher who encourages parents to take their kids out of school, to travel, to adventure, and to grow together as a family. In my last video, I gave you permission to do that, but I also promised to support you in communicating with your child's school effectively so that you can get everybody on board and excited for your plan. It's important to do this if you're not planning on homeschooling full-time, which I could never do. I would completely lose my mind. I am so grateful to my kids' teachers who give me guidance and support whenever we go away. I could never hope to replace them. First of all, I'd like to start out by stressing that your child's teacher is not responsible for providing you with a neat little package of work for you to take away on your trip with you, nor should you even want one. If you're going away on an adventure with your family, the last thing you want to be doing is hours of homework every day. But a lot of parents ask for these packages out of a sense of guilt, and most of the time they don't get done, and teachers know this. Plus, most teachers don't have their program ready to go, packaged up weeks in advance, and your trip should not obligate them to furiously scramble to find their resources in time for your departure. Keeping that in mind, what should you do? Well, about a month before you leave, write your child's teacher a nice letter outlining when you'll be gone and why you'll be gone. Be enthusiastic in your letter. Use exclamation points and happy faces. Your enthusiasm will be contagious. Remember that teachers love interesting learning opportunities, so they will be really happy for you and your family. But you're going to seriously dampen their enthusiasm if you start making crazy demands on them, especially on short notice. And don't discount the importance of traveling to see family either. My husband's entire family lives in Brazil, and we go every single year to see them. Every year at the beginning of the school year when we have a new teacher, I'm sure to point out to them the cultural and linguistic and familial benefits to this. In your letter, respectfully acknowledge that you are aware that they are not responsible for providing a package of work, but that you are asking just for their guidance. They will be happy to provide it. Your child's curriculum should always be available online for you to look at. Ask your teacher simply what math concept, what math strand is being covered during your absence. And then if there is a textbook available, ask to borrow it, photocopy it, and then before you leave, cover a lesson every couple of days. By the time you leave, it's covered. When you get back, review it and forget about it. Your child's teacher might want to test your child when you get back on the stuff that was missed, or they may simply record it as them being absent and there'll be a blank on their report card. It doesn't matter either way. Our kids have had blanks on their report cards and we couldn't care less. What's important is that they have the knowledge to be able to continue building on it later. There are some parents who would unfairly insist that the teacher spend time working one-on-one with a student who was away of their parents' choice to catch them up. This simply isn't fair. This is really important to remember. Teachers have an impossibly huge curriculum that they need to cover, and they can't be expected to catch your child up because you went to see the Amazon. It's amazing that you went to see the Amazon. That's such an awesome experience. But if you choose to take your child out of school, it's your turn to step up, and it's not that hard. Okay, so you've written a nice letter to your kids' teachers, you've photocopied whatever you can, you've started gathering materials, whether it be online or from your kids' teacher, and now you're feeling really intimidated. You're thinking to yourself, I'm not a teacher, and who is this crazy lady anyway telling me that it's all gonna be okay? I want you to take a deep breath. You are a parent and your kids are still alive. Therefore, I know that you have taught them many things over the years, and you can do this too. There are jillions of online resources, including the Khan Academy, that's K-A-H-N, and they have tons of video lessons that are ready-made in case teaching scares you, as it does a lot of people. Sam's Club and Costco here in North America, they have workbooks that are geared to each grade level. You can buy those, tear out the pages that you need, and only take those pages with you when you travel. If you're only going to be gone for 1 to 2 weeks, there actually isn't a ton that you need to do. These are my suggestions for reading, writing, and mathematics. First of all, for writing, Keep a journal. Have your child keep a journal every day. They can be talking about what's going on in their trip. Set questions for them to specifically answer. Then after they're done that, go through their writing with them. Look at the grammar, the spelling, and the sentence structure. Find ways to improve their writing and make sure that they do it. It's also a great idea for you to keep a journal, and then you can compare notes, see who thought what was important. And that is writing done. Bring along a good book from home and have your child read to you out loud for a few minutes every day. Discuss the book, ask questions, even use it as the basis for your journal questions for the day if writing about your trip is somehow getting boring. And that's it. Reading done. Math facts can be practiced anywhere. In the car, on the plane, in the airport, on the beach, anywhere that you have 5 minutes that you can shoot off some questions at your child and just get them practicing. That's awesome. You can also download math games onto your iPad or onto your phone. You can even download reading games too, for that matter, and then plug them in guilt-free and enjoy some quiet time for yourself and some learning for them. For a longer trip, 3 weeks or more, things are a little bit more complicated. Where we live in Canada, if a child misses 15 or more consecutive school days, they're actually supposed to be removed from the school roster and the school stops receiving funding for them. So we always plan all of our trips to be below that 15-day marker, which actually means that we can be gone up to 23 days, including weekends. It's worth checking out in your own school district. If you're going for longer periods of time, 3 weeks or more, it pretty much guarantees that your kids are going to be missing entire units of study in school, but that's okay. You can still handle it. Just follow my tips for the shorter trips and then add on studying themes from social studies and from science. Their teachers will be able to tell you, possibly even highlight directly in the curriculum what themes they are missing. Read articles, listen to podcasts about these things, watch videos. Bill Nye the Science Guy, he's really awesome for little kids' science videos. Discuss all of these things as a family, learn it together, use it as a basis for journaling. Let them show you their learning through their journal. Lastly, don't underestimate the amazing amount that your kids are going to be learning when they're out adventuring with you in the world. Yeah, they're gonna miss some school learning. But as I said in my last video, learning to learn and learning to love learning, that happens everywhere. And it will happen even more if you're beside them. A child who loves to learn will be successful, and travel is the perfect complement to book learning. Everything that I've talked about here so far, it's all for elementary age school students. Our kids are only 11 and 6, so we don't have any experience with high school yet, but we are planning a trip for 2022 that will be an entire semester long. So we're already starting to look into options like summer school and online credit courses to get our son ahead of the curve before we even go. But that's a whole other video. I hope you aren't feeling intimidated anymore by the thought of taking your kids out of school. And here's a little resume of what I've told you in this video. 1, teachers are not responsible for providing work or for catching your kids up if you choose to take them out of school. However, I don't know a single teacher who wouldn't be happy to provide you with guidance on how to keep them on track. 2, reading, writing, and math can easily be practiced on the road in fun ways that your kids won't mind doing. Also, don't forget about online resources. I'm not a huge fan of plugging kids in, but there's a time and a place for everything, and this can provide you a great time to breathe. If there's anything else that you're wondering about, please leave me your questions down in the comments. Also, I would love to hear your suggestions if you have experience with schooling on the road. This is by no means an exact science, and I'm always trying to find ways to make it better and more fun for all of us when we're on the road. Please tell me your stories. What has worked for your family? What hasn't worked? What obstacles have you come up against? And most importantly, how did your kids feel about it? What has been their reaction to you trying to school them on the road? If this video has been useful for you and you found it inspiring and now you're going to go out and travel, please give us a like and subscribe so that you'll know when our next video comes out. Our next stop is Egypt. We leave in 1 week. We're so excited to go. Where's your next stop? Go play hooky. Do you know Bill Nye the Science Guy? It's awesome. Go, 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 Bill. Bill Nye the Science Guy. We're gonna rewind this.